Welcome to Scriptural Snapshots, brought to you by Living Faith Ministries in Kaiser, West Virginia, where we bring the living Word of God into your life. I'm Pastor Gordon Brubaker. We're studying about the home of the brave. We're studying the Star-Spangled Banner, and last week we went through the first stanza, but I want to give you the second stanza this week. He's describing the battle. You have to understand what's going on. He's describing the battle in song of what was going on. He says, on the shore dimly seen through the midst of the deep. In other words, it's the sun's just breaking and we're just beginning to be able to see the shoreline because of all the smoke, the fog on the waters in the early morning, the smoke from the bombs, from the bombardment. Again, it was 25 hours, 19 ships bombarding Fort McHenry. And he says, where the foe's haughty host in dread silence reposes. You know, after you've gone through a battle, and all the guns stop firing, it just seems like an eerie silence when all the things stop. And this is how it was. They quit firing, they quit shooting at the fort because they wanted to see, as the dawn was coming up, they wanted to see what damage that they had inflicted on the fort. And so all the guns fell silent at one time, and they're just there on the ships, just trying to see the shore, trying to see the damage that they had done, trying to see if they had destroyed the fort so that they could send the ground troops in. They were looking at all this stuff. And he says, the foe's haughty host in dread silence reposes. So there's this silence that falls over everything. What is that which the breeze over the towering steep, as it fitfully blows, half conceals and half discloses? What is it? What are we seeing? The breeze is beginning to come in. We're seeing the rise of the hills and the things that are going on the shoreline. We're beginning to understand and see the after effects of all that we've done. The wind is fitfully blowing. It half conceals and half discloses, so we're only seeing partial. And that's where we are kind of right now in the United States. It's where we are in the church. We're kind of seeing in part, but we don't fully understand yet what's going on. We don't fully realize what is happening. Some think the church is winning. Some think the church is losing. Some think our culture is declining. Some think that the culture is improving. It's like, okay, where are we? We're taking inventory at this point to see what is really true and what's really false. We're trying to figure out what the effects have been of everything that's happened up to this point. He says, now it catches the gleam of the morning's first beam. The light's beginning to shine, and we're finally beginning to see what is actually going on. In full glory, reflected now, shines in the stream. The sun's beginning to shine. The clouds are dissipating, that we're seeing, and the sun is revealing. He says, it's a star-spangled banner. Oh, long may it wave. He said, we're seeing, after all this, the night, wondering, worried about this, and everything falls silent, and they're beginning to see the coastline. They're beginning to see the fog dissipate. They're beginning to see this, and they're seeing just the tips of the flag, just the tips of the things, and suddenly the sun comes over and begins to give full light, and the flag, the hope of the world, is still there. The flag hasn't fallen. It still survives. He says, or the land of the free and the home of the brave. And again, this is an awesome sight to see. And I believe we're at that point. We're just beginning to see. The clouds are just beginning to clear. America has been under attack for years and years and years. As I said earlier last week, in 1914, Woodrow Wilson, the first progressive, the first socialist, was elected as president of the United States, and we've been dealing and struggling with that being imposed on us to take away our freedom and liberty ever since. Woodrow Wilson was the one that brought racism back in. He divided the military into white and black. He fired black government workers. He fired all the black staff that worked at the White House. He got rid of them, and it took us till in the 60s before we desegregated the schools, and we got everybody to go back together. And so since the 60s, this has only been for a few years. It's only been for about 50, 60 years that we've been back on the right track. We're still seeing all the bombardment, and we're seeing everyone attack America for how horrible it is, how despicable we are, and yet in all of that, The gospel of Christ is being preached again, and men and women are coming to a faith in Jesus Christ. And I'm telling you, it's going to change our nation. It is changing our nation back to the home of the free. And the land of the home of the brave, the land of the free. We're coming back to that now in our generation, in our time. It's that time when God is being restored to the throne over the United States of America. I'm Pastor Gordon Brubaker. God bless you.